I'm Rebecca Caro, and welcome to another special edition of Rowing Chat, where I interview the businesses that support rowing around the world. Today, I'm delighted to welcome to Rowing Chat Jordan Barron from Exerfly. Hey, Jordan.
Hello.
So really good to have you here. You're a very new and exciting business that is going to be getting going into the rowing world right now. Tell us, how did Exerfly get started?
So it was started by my business partner, Nick Bolton, originally, and he's a sprinter himself, and he's really wanted to create something that stayed injury-free, kept performing at the highest level. And I guess he's a really good walking billboard of Exerfly, because this year he actually came fourth in the 110-meter hurdles in the national championships, and he's 48. So yeah, obviously it's sort of mission accomplished, and we've got some really exciting developments happening, and we've been up to some great things over the last 6 years.
Now, staying injury-free is definitely a goal that many older athletes will understand. Just explain the concept behind Exerfly.
Of course. So basically with flywheel training, if you can compare it to traditional weight training and you think of a bicep curl. So with a bicep curl, obviously you're starting at the bottom and it's hard in the middle and it's quite easy at the top. And then as you go down, gravity takes it down, and then it's quite hard in the middle, and then quite easy at the bottom. But with flywheel training, it's the resistance is the whole way. And so, for example, resistance all the way up and all the way down. And it can be used for a variety of different ways of training, that being strength and conditioning, injury management, and injury prevention.
So tell me, what on earth gave Nick the idea for this? I mean, I'm fascinated. It seems to have come out of nowhere.
Yeah. So yeah, just basically to keep training at the highest level, keep competing. He really likes to compete, and he just really wanted to create something and sort of integrated software within sports, and those are his two passions. And that's how it sort of came about. And yeah, obviously it's going really well, and sort of growing the Exerfly community day by day.
Now, you've got a video to show us what it actually looks like in practice. So
Yep.
Let's take a look now. And what's the name of this product?
So this is the Exerfly platform. So this is what they call the Ferrari of gym equipment, and it includes a bench press, 2 ropes. You can do a lot of horizontal movements as well, and a foot block. So yeah, you can do a variety of different exercises in a very small space. And a lot of due to the pandemic, a lot of sporting teams who needed to get through a lot of people, or athletes being at home, or home users as well, to use this. And obviously with this you can have the motorized technology, which you can select the eccentric overload from 1 to 80%, which is sort of a game changer in the industry. And a lot of physiotherapists use it as well for injury prevention and injury management. And yeah, so it's a very elite level piece of equipment. So here's a video now.
And is that electrical resistance?
Yeah, so the way that it works in traditional flywheel training equipment works is basically traditional flywheel training equipment is used yaw force. So more force you put in, the more force you get out of it. And you can obviously add weights to then increase that force, but then it obviously becomes slower. And the quicker that the flywheel goes, the more force is produced. And with the eccentric phase and the motorized technology, it's really used for those elite level pieces of equipment, training. And from a perspective, you can sort of get to a level and you can sort of plateau a little bit, and to get that extra percentage you can select the eccentric phase from 1 to 80%. So if you think of like a squat, for example, it's really going to drag you down to the ground, and so it's going to really increase those fast twitch fibers and that force absorption. So for example, the US sprinting team, they used to jump off very large buildings, and to get that force absorption, which they can do obviously a lot safer now, and obviously be better on the track.
You've got so your top product is this platform, which you can just add regular bars and weights to, or do they all come as integrated part of the product?
So it's all integrated, and it's something that we supply. So the flywheels are, we specifically make them, which, because it's to do with the diameter of the flywheel, and that's how the force is produced. So obviously the larger diameter, then the more force can be produced. And then obviously we have a bench press that you can slide in and out of, and a foot block as well. So you can do side lunges, or you can do hip thrusts, or, it's basically up to your imagination, which is great.
Now, you've got some rowers already using it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we have Rowing New Zealand using it, and have been using it for, probably the last 3 to 4 years. And a great supporter of ours is Angus Ross, and he's the head strength and conditioning coach at New Zealand High Performance. And they've used it for a lot of traveling, because obviously rowers have to travel a lot overseas. And we have a portable version as well, which is sort of like a kit set. It's sort of what people call gym in a box, which you can attach to any pole, or you can use it as a platform to use deadlifts, squats, rotational, horizontal movements as well. And it's used by a lot of New Zealand sporting teams and athletes.
Tell us a little bit about the advantages to athletes who train in high volume sports.
Yeah, well, I guess a big thing for high volume is that, your body is maybe quite tired a lot of the time, and you might not have the perfect technique. I guess with rowers, for example, a big thing, and for basketball players as well, because we have a lot of NBA teams using our equipment now, is that if they're doing a squat and they're putting 100 kgs of load on their back, it can be quite damaging to their lower back and hips and their knees if they don't get quite the right technique. Whereas flywheel training, it's distributed around your whole body, and so from a DOM's perspective, and from you not having to put that 100 kgs of load on your back, which is obviously very advantageous for when you're training it with a high volume.
So if you've got a 100 kg conventional Olympic bar, what's the equivalent on Exerfly?
So it's quite hard to measure, because it's to do with your force. So the more force you put into it, the more force you get out of it. So if you go slower, then the less force is going to be produced. We actually are in the process of updating our app to then calculate that, but that's going to be more of an average of what that is, because then it's more easily understandable to maybe newer people who are using flywheel training.
So just give me equivalent. Are we talking 10% less weight or more?
Yeah, so really depending on how quickly you're moving. So for example, we have a lot of video content online. So Jacko Gill, his top squat is at 350 kgs, and he puts 4 red flywheels onto the flywheel training device, and that's basically his max limits, but he's going obviously quite quickly. If he went slower, then not as much force will be produced. We can actually fit up to 7 red flywheels of 0.7 inertia on our equipment.
Now, it sounds like you've got a lot of things in the pipeline as well. You've already mentioned an app. Is the app already available?
Yeah, so it's already available in real time. So for the pandemic, it was great because, for example, coaches and athletes weren't together, and you can have a lot of real time feedback in which you can then send to a coach. We're having some major updates in the sense of being able to log in as an athlete to see your workouts and obviously see from your coaches, and also from a coaching perspective, be able to schedule different workouts for those athletes. So if a coach had 30 people that they're looking after, which obviously happens in rowing because they have fairly big teams, they can actually see all those athletes and the results that they're producing and sort of cater for that. We know that flywheel training is part of the puzzle, and it's a really key part of the puzzle. So we're not just limiting ourselves to just Exerfly equipment. It's actually going to be more than it. There's different parts of fitness in which you can record on the application.
And what else is new?
We have a lot of exciting innovations in the sense. I'll actually show you a rack mount slider that we have. I'll just share it now. So we have a rack mount slider that's coming out, and basically this can be attached to any squat rack, and yeah, obviously really great for group settings, and it also can be attached to the portable version as well. So obviously for traveling athletes, it's a great way to train, and we usually use the portable version that you can attach to a tree, but this can be actually attached in a gym setting as well. And a lot of athletes who travel a lot is very key because they don't have to stress of what gym equipment is going to be in the gym, and they can sort of travel in the elite gym wherever they go.
And that's a rec rack slider. And so just in summary, what you've said, you've got 3 main products.
Yes.
What are they?
So we've got the platform that I introduced, obviously the portable version that you haven't seen yet. It's more of a gym in a box, which is sort of a rack mount and a platform molded into one. And the way we sort of came about this was because a lot of New Zealand athletes travel overseas a lot of the time, and I'll just show you here, and they need to have an elite gym piece of equipment wherever they go, and this can be traveled in a suitcase. It only weighs 7.5 kgs. It's made from fiberglass, and it's it's basically a sort of kit set in which is a whole gym. The New York Yankees, LA Dodgers have one, Great Britain Olympics, Australia Olympics, Canada Olympics, US Olympics, San Antonio Spurs, Golden State Warriors, a lot of like top level athletes, and obviously with the sensor as well, you can record a lot of data, which you can't get with other pieces of equipment as well.
Impressive. And so if people want to come and try one, what do they need to do?
Just contact us, and then we can sort of see who's in the area, who we can connect you with. Obviously, we have a lot of content online in which you can sort of see the experience. I guess we've taken a different model in the sense of trying to give that experience before you've even tried the equipment, and it's even better when you do try it. We have set up a London office as well, and a lot of people in America we do have partnerships with, in which are happy to sort of trial the equipment as well. But yeah, I guess sort of the equipment sells because of the people who are using it.
And the website is exerflysport.com.
Yeah, www.exerflysport.com.
Jordan, you have opened my eyes to something that's so completely new. And obviously, I'm ashamed that it's been going for many years and I didn't know about it. And I very much look forward to hearing more about how Exerfly is taking the world of strength and conditioning into regular rowing training with more safe, injury-free athlete training.
Yeah, no worries at all, and happy to answer any questions that anyone has. I guess it's the new age of training. We have a lot of, it's not just one or two sporting teams. There's a lot of sporting teams and organizations and worldwide organizations using the equipment. And it's, as more people learn about it and the benefits of it, in the sense of less DOMs, a joint strength, fast twitch fibers, and a better way of training and a safer way of training, it's just going to get more and more popular.
Jordan, thank you very much for joining me. And for all of the Rowing Chat listeners, you can see Exerfly and all of the other rowing retailers on our website, rowing.chat, and then click directory in the top menu. Till next time, bye-bye.